Hey, Mr. Kirk, thanks for coming out tonight. I got a question for you real quick. Up until about 5 years ago when gay marriage was legalized nationwide, the conservative movement has been explicitly pro-traditional family. Now, both you and your organization advocate for the acceptance of anti-Christian, immoral lifestyles like homosexuality and transsexuality, going as far to invite drag queens like Lady MAGA to your events. It seems to me and anyone who's paying attention that conservatives just believe whatever liberals believed 5 years ago. Right now, there's a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and... Oh, excuse me. Phone shut off.
Go back to your notes. That's probably where you saved it. You got to push double tap and then go over.
Right now, there is a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and rebranding pedophiles as minor attracted persons. 5 years from now, will you be promoting child drag queen shows? Will child abuse become part of the conservative platform?
Boy, that's a slippery slope fallacy if I've ever seen one. First of all, I've never invited a drag queen to come to any Turning Point USA event. I was at Politicon, and an individual by the name of Lady MAGA came up, and I took a picture, and she walked away. Secondly, let me ask you a question. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
So are you a proud Trump supporter?
Of course.
So are you sickened that he had a gay man speak at his convention?
Yes.
Then you're not a Trump supporter, my friend. Thank you very much. Let me ask you another question. Should he return the money of Peter Thiel, an openly gay man who supports his campaign?
No, if it helps him strategically,
okay.
Sure he can.
Should he stop talking to Tammy Bruce, who's an open lesbian that's a Fox News contributor?
If it's affecting his ideas, then probably, yeah.
Okay, so you say you're a Trump supporter, yet you have all these issues and these disagreements with him. Let me be very clear about my position. My personal position. I'm a Christian first and foremost, then an American, then a constitutionalist, then a conservative, in that order. I believe marriage, biblically, if we want to have a biblical and theological discussion, as articulated in the greatest book ever to exist in the history of the world, the Holy Bible. Marriage in the Holy Bible is one man, one woman. I also do not believe in the sort of rhetoric that some people engage in, that all of a sudden that they say there's no place for gay people in the conservative movement. I do not believe that.
That's not conservative.
And let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question then?
Sure, go for it.
So, the American family, liberty, freedom, the Constitution, our history, veterans, that's what we're conserving. I'll get to you later, though, don't worry. So let me ask you a question. If you had your way, what would you do with gay people in America?
What would I do with them?
Because they're not allowed in the conservative movement, so would you just kick them out anytime they show up at a Republican Party? If you were in charge, what would you say? You can't be part of the Republican Party.
If somebody is advocating for being openly homosexual, yeah, they should not be part of the conservative movement.
So I just want to go through the list. Guy Benson, no place in the conservative movement. Dave Rubin, no place in the conservative movement. Peter Thiel, no place in the conservative movement. So that just to go down the list.
If they are supporting open homosexuality.
So
yeah, no
I'm going to ask a very respectful question, as respectfully as I can. What does what they do in their private life concern you so much that you have to go up in front of a crowd? And
it is against God. That is
so let me ask
Are you a
question.
Christian or not?
Do we live in a theocracy, yes or no? No, do we live in a theocracy?
You said you're a Christian.
I am a Christian. And do you know what? And guess what? I will say this. Part of being a Christian is appropriately interpreting what the theological says for the individual, but also means to be long-suffering and patient and loving and kind. Jesus Christ talked to all people. Jesus Christ went and did his ministry through Judea and Samaria, and he had dinner with tax collectors, and he had dinner with prostitutes, and he did his ministry in every part of the Mediterranean. What it means to be a Christian, my friend, is to be open-minded but firm in your beliefs, so you can have that belief. But if you say there's something inherently wrong with communicating or associating just because they make different personal decisions than you, sir, are not a conservative. Thanks for being here tonight.
So, so that's where that's where all this came from. All this is and I forgot to fucking set the whole thing up. I was gonna do it last weekend. forgot about it. And then I sat down about 7:30. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, okay, think.
Well, last week worked out perfectly. I wasn't feeling 100%. I mean, I felt okay Saturday when we hung out, but Sunday and Monday, dude, the head cold fucking had me. No, it was before. Head cold. Thursday and Friday, I felt rough as shit.
Right.
Saturday, I felt fine.
What did we do Saturday?
Park.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we went up and hung
Oh,
out.
I must have got it from you. Like the whole time I was racking my brain, I'm like, we didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Like, where the
But
hell?
I was on the men.
I was like,
so
where the hell did this come from?
We
Yeah.
didn't-
Oh,
we
by
weren't
then?
that close.
Yeah, we only made out like twice. It's a lot less than normal. Whatever. What's up, everybody?
So
No, and then I'm kind of glad we didn't do a show last week because I've had 3 shows ready to go since the last one.
yeah, okay.
Because like we did the last show, and it was the fallout from Charlie Kirk,
Yeah.
and
That
basically
took
the way
up a lot.
it all came about was like the shock of what happened to Charlie Kirk, and then the reaction to that, and then after the initial shock, the fallout to that is all emotional response. And everyone's just like, well, what's this? And what's that? And what's this? And what's that?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where we were at. And then since then, I've been like, kind of like, the shock of everything kind of dwindled down. And then I just started watching and listening. And I'm like, And then last weekend, I went down the rabbit hole and I sent you like the Israel thing that popped up. I'm like, what's all this about? And everyone's like, oh, Charlie Kirk started like questioning Israel. And I'm like, huh. And then the 50 States Won Israel initiative that went through like right after he was assassinated. And then I'm like, what the fuck? But it turns out that's a thing that they do a lot. They invite a lot of politicians, like congressmen, women, whoever.
Congress people.
Yeah.
Political people, basically.
And they do that often. I'm like, okay, so it wasn't out of the ordinary. Doesn't mean it's great, but it's not out of the ordinary. I'm like, all right. So then I'm like, maybe. And then after that, I started popping up on like the feed, which this is where I got hung up on, was the 30-06. I'm like, because that's the narrative that they put out. It was like, well, he shot with a Mauser World War II 30-06. That was it was altered. The barrel was altered because the Mauser 30-06, the World War II version of the German Mauser 30-06, was a weaker barrel. It was loaded with a lower pressure round because the the material was not as good as it is now, but even in wartime because of supplies, right? But the gun that they recovered allegedly was a aftermarket, and the barrel was a stronger barrel. I'm like, okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that the round was a low pressure round or a low grain, but there's no official word on what kind of round was used. So I couldn't really get far with that. But then I'm like, well, hold on. I started going into ballistics, and I'm like, well, let's look at what a 30-06 does. Because the narrative we got was he was hit in the neck.
Yeah.
The bullet hit his vertebrae and bounced around and then was found just under the surface of his skin. I'm like, wait a minute.
So, being an avid gun enthusiast like I am, surprisingly, one of the few things I know quite a bit about, especially being an avid hunter too, when it comes to any caliber round, there's a lot of things you have to consider. One, like low pressure, it's actually, you said you corrected it, a lower grain. So a light.
Well, it is. Scientifically, it's a low pressure round. It's packed low pressure.
It's not. Well, it's the amount of gunpowder.
It's the amount of grain. Yes, I
so
understand.
It becomes so. Just I know. I got to say it because of the way I know it.
Okay.
Just makes
It's just semantics, but either way.
I appreciate you bearing with me. So a lighter grain bullet.
Right.
It,
Which I don't know what like I don't know if it's 270 or if it was whatever the hell it was.
so
'Cause a 22 long rifle is only 40 grain.
So yeah, okay. Magnum's a little bit higher.
Right.
Short round is a little bit less. So what you need to consider is the amount of gunpowder needed to propel the bullet.
Right.
So you could literally. I don't believe for a second that was a 30-06 round.
Neither do I. That's what I was getting to. But keep
Okay,
going.
sorry. Okay, my bad then. Because in order to create that kind of effect, you're talking with, especially with a 30-06, you're talking about like the guns. There was no silencer on the weapon, correct?
No.
The video sound is way.
The video sound I can explain away very easily. But keep going.
Okay. See, there's a lot of things about the video that I saw that didn't add up to 30. I haven't said nothing about this.
But that's the problem is when I first heard it, you hear the shot, and then my first thing was like the distance and the shot. And I'm like, 150 yards. And I'm like, but this is where the problem of... Oh, first I thought this is where the problem of... I don't know whether it was a hot round. I don't know whether it was a low grain round. I don't know, so I can't. But then, before you go into anything, then I did calculations on it, like the speed of the bullet, whether it was a low, medium, or high. Doesn't really change. It changes in regards to distance for a round, but in regards to what I was looking for, it doesn't really make any difference.
No.
So,
So, when you have a light load, you're talking about it'll go the distance, but the amount of punching power it has changes. So, with a light grain bullet at 500 yards with a 30-06, the gun sound isn't gonna change.
No, that's not what I was looking for.
So,
not the sound of the bullet coming out. It was something completely different.
At 500 yards with a light load bullet, I know because I've done competition shooting with my 30-06. I was told smaller caliber.
Right.
So I moved over to the 308. Now 308 at 500 yards will put a ding with a light grain bullet.
That's a faster round, though, isn't it?
Smaller. It's a little bit of a smaller bullet, and depending. Here's what people don't understand about ballistics. There's a few different types of bullet shells. There's the boat tail. Mm-hmm. Then there's like three. I forgot what they're called. Whatever. There's your rounded, which is basically almost blunt.
Right.
Then you have your boat tail, they call it.
Right.
Which is more of a point. Mm-hmm. Both same diameter bullet, same caliber.
Right.
Because the caliber only is determined by the diameter of the bullet itself.
Right.
So, with a 308, smaller diameter, same, doesn't mean it's faster, because the grain that helps determine.
If it's a smaller diameter, it should theoretically be faster, just because it's less drag, less friction against the bullet.
So a
surface area to
308,
have
I
drag.
could shoot at 500 yards with a light grain bullet and not punch a hole through it.
Right.
A 30-06 will punch a hole through the target with a light grain bullet.
Right.
So you're telling me that a smaller bullet would travel faster, which means it should also go farther. Wrong.
Should.
Keep there. That's where.
Well, no, it wouldn't, because a smaller bullet, being lighter, would have more drag on it and slow it down faster.
So, back to the whole purpose of what I was trying to get. I'm sorry, I'm a little.
No, I get this. Yeah. But
So, with the whole theory of it being a 30-06, I don't believe that for a second. The fact that you said that I didn't even know about that. It bouncing around.
that's the official narrative.
With the 30-06, even with a light grain bullet, I mean, you're talking literally, in order to get that kind of effect, because the way the bullet spins, the amount of velocity it has, you need a certain grain to propel that so many yards.
Right.
You're talking a 150-yard shot, penetration, but no entrance, no exit, You're talking about a grain load that's way too low for a 30-06 to get that kind of trajectory.
Yeah.
So, to bounce around? No, not for... You know what does bounce around?
9mm.
22s.
Well, 22, yeah.
Even with a Magnum 22, I could shoot you in the leg at 100 yards and not have an exit. Have entrance, not an exit. They say the 22 is one of the most dangerous bullets to be shot by because the way the bullets are rounded, they don't make bolt tails for 22s. Even with a full grain load, it might not exit. What it will do
Is ricochet.
bing, 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 bing inside. But a 22, now the video I saw of the entrance, the bullet entering his neck, that's not a 22.
I don't think that was an entrance. And here's where it gets weird. Well, first, going back to the 30-06.
Pause. We're going to skip all the way to the end really quick so that you can rewind and we're going to do a Deadpool moment.
Another
Here.
Tarantino.
We're going to do a Deadpool moment here. Do you think he was killed or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I have.
And to get you to where I am now, falling into a thing of garbage, I'm going to take you 3 weeks back.
I have stuff on that too, but so I was stuck on the Mauser 30-06, and I was like, well, it's like 30-06. Like I've shot a 30-06. I was like, and then you watch the video, and even we'll go with the official narrative. That is an entrance wound in his neck. Even with a 30-06, that's soft tissue. You would not see that kind of hole with that kind of entrance wound with a 30 with anything 9mm, 22, even possibly up to a 30-06. That soft tissue is going to close itself again. If you listen to any kind of field medic and military and police, that's not what happens to soft tissue when it gets hit. The exit wound, yes, that's the kind of thing that happens. With a 30-06, it's a whole other story.
Okay, I was right with my numbers. Never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
But generally, that's what happens to soft tissue. You don't see just a gaping hole and it just stays like that. It closes back in on itself.
Well,
That's the medical field.
having hunted...
If you're arguing that, you're going to argue against
So, no.
Green Beret.
Hunting, so my experience hunting. 45-0, the 45...
You're
the 45,
comparing deer to people.
Hear me out. The 45-80 SOCOM round. It's basically your chapstick.
Mm-hmm. It's like a 45-70.
The
It's
entrance...
actually bigger than my chapstick.
Well, 45-80 is a little bit shorter, a little bit rounder, a little bit fatter on the bottom, but the bullet is rounded like that.
Right.
Entrance is gonna stay like that. That's the difference between the bullets. When you have a boat tail, you're gonna get that entrance and it's gonna close shut. When you have the flat one, the rounded one, you're gonna have an entrance that's not gonna be able, because when it hits, it does that.
Right.
There's no close in that.
What's the back look like?
Worse.
Yeah.
Well, no. Hold on. No, I think the back actually doesn't look as bad. Hold on 1 second, because now you're getting into. Hold on.
Well, I asked because I was like, well, I got a couple different things here. Because this is when I started looking into like, what does a 30-06 actually do? So I found this. I'm like, okay.
Okay, hold on. Pause that, please. Pause that, please.
Wow.
Just really quick. So, this is what I was talking about. See how there's the pointed,
Yeah.
then there's the rounded, then there's the
Right.
flat. So, this kind of a bullet will generate a bigger entrance, a smaller exit. This kind of a bullet, smaller entrance, bigger exit.
Right.
So there you go. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway.
Good.
You already said that.
My bad. Well, for my brain, I'm sorry, dude.
He said things already.
So today on Dual
Okay.
Firearms, we're going to be showing you what a 30-06 does to a ballistics gel skull. So we have a realistic human head here made with ballistics gelatin and a resin skull. And it's got a filling in there, so hopefully you'll be able to see what happens.
Not surprised. But what I need to know is yardage, type of bullet, the load, the grain load.
Put in about a 10% slow-mo for you. Now, what happened was when the 30-06 projectile hit the head, I had predicted it would go through the front side and just blow a big hole in the back side. But what actually happened was the large projectile of the 30-06 went through the skull and impacted all the liquid that I had on the inside. Now that had created a shockwave inside of the head that had literally blown the head to pieces.
That's what I had wondered, was the shockwave.
Left to it when it was all
So,
said and done.
okay,
It's not the shockwave from the bullet itself. It's the shockwave from all that force, that inertia, stopping. Rule of science is energy just doesn't dissipate, right?
I can disprove.
So the bullet goes, all that inertia hits something, and a lot of that inertia gets transported into something else. Now, what happens to the brain, muscle, anytime you get punched, what happens to it? It bruises, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just from a punch. Where's that energy going to go, and what's going to happen to soft tissue, your skull, everything? Disprove it.
I'm not going to disprove it because that is 100% accurate. Depending on, like I said, bullet type, grain load, yardage. So
That's the problem.
here's the thing, though. When you're talking about, and I know this because competition shooting, when you flute a barrel, when you rifle a barrel, when you file the point, when you get when you get competition round bullets, which are a little bit more narrow, you can actually specially make your bullets so that, and you can rifle the bullet along with the barrel. So now, when you're talking about rifling, you're talking about grooving the barrel, and you can actually, they make special, like I said, moldings for bullets so that they spin faster. When you talk about, you remember way back when we were kids learning about tornadoes and hurricanes, what was the one thing they said they saw embedded in like telephone poles and trees? Straws, right? You remember that shit growing up?
Straws?
Like you saw a straw embedded in a tree because of the wind speed.
Right.
Now
I don't know
you're
about
ta-
straws, but I do remember like picket fences, like boards and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, if you think about it, with the right speed, the right spin, you're talking very right conditions.
Mm-hmm.
When you do it right, you can have that perfect shoot through. You can have that perfect shot through. Hold on, give me 1 second.
But this is interesting, but there's also more that kind of throws that off that I got into that I actually just, this is what I mean. I had 3 shows written, like ready to go in the last week and a half or 2 weeks. Because then just tonight, I was looking, I'm like, well, fuck. This is...
Come on, skip this. That's why the exit's usually bigger than the entrance, because when it penetrates, depending... Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a second.
Oh, why you
Go
look
do your thing. Keep talking. I'm sorry.
Why you look that up? Like this all to go back. This all started. I'm like, well, how fast does an actual 30-06 travel? So I was like, let's figure it out. So I brought it up like light and fast bullets, about 150 grain. It's like 28 to 2950 feet per second. Then medium hunting weight, which
Oh yeah.
from everything that we know so far,
It was supposed
we
to be
can
standard hunting
assume
rifle.
it would be a hunting round, right? Because avid hunters.
But well, if you have reloading equipment, you can change that. If you had this stuff,
Did he though?
we don't know.
That's the
I don't
problem.
know.
So that's what I meant is the problem is I don't know what the round was. So I'm trying to cut this down the middle. So if there's leeway one way or another, it's not a huge adjustment. So your hunting round, 165 to 180 grain, is 26 to 2800 feet per second, and the heavy bullet is 200 plus whatever. So that was the speed of the round. And then when I said, okay, I go, unrelated, I go, how long would it take sound to travel 150 yards? Well, actually, no. First, I put how long would it take a medium round to travel 150 yards, and going through the mathematics, it would take about 0.167 seconds to travel 150 yards, and that's like basically what most outlets say. That's what the distance was from the shooter to Charlie Kirk. Okay, so 0.7 seconds, just rounded up. So a single number is 0.7 seconds. Okay, and I'm like, okay, unrelated. How long would it take sound to travel the same distance? And this said 0.40 seconds. So he would have been hit before we heard the shot.
Yeah. Well, no. Yes and no.
Well,
so depending on ambient sound.
Ambient sound would have shown up after, because reverberation, you can't account reverberation as hitting first before the actual straight sound wave. Because what you hear is what we did hear on most of the recordings was the initial crack of the rifle and then the echo after. He was in an amphitheater, which that would have been really loud. So most of the sound we heard, and that's interesting. What's not interesting, but it's you and everyone else. Do you have a silencer? Because when you hear it, it was a quiet sound, right?
Yeah, which
would
indicate a light load.
If you
not really.
No. If you had fired a 30-06, that's not really a quiet gun.
I fired easily 1,000 through mine.
So. Most of the videos we saw were filmed on what?
Like personal cell phone cameras.
Exactly. Cell phone cameras are notorious for compressing sound files. So at a loud sound, so it doesn't peak and get that distorted like...
Sorry, guys. He orgasmed.
So that doesn't happen. It compresses sound files to stop that. And
my
plus,
mic is perfectly over your dick.
What usually happens...
I see it. His wiener's out, people. Come on.
Hey.
I put it there for a reason.
Hey. What usually happens when that happens is the sound that comes in after from readjusting is quiet, and then it comes back to level.
Yeah.
When you compress sound like that, everything pretty much stays at an even base. It's like old movies compared to new movies.
So that explains. Okay.
So that's why it was quiet. Now, there's one video I saw where someone was using a boom mic like away. I think they were still in the amphitheater, but they were like up on the hill of it or something, and they were interviewing. And you hear the gunshot there, completely different. It was like completely different gun. It was louder. It was still compressed, but nowhere near as much as a cell phone. So that's what explained that away. I'm like, okay, so because, like I said, the initial response when all this happened, you're like, it's an emotional response. You're like, well, that wasn't a 30-06. Doesn't even sound like it. It's like, was it? Because that's when you start to get like the pistol theories. Like, well, what's that angle? There's an angle from his right, slightly up in a window or something.
Yeah. So the sound thing, I didn't know about that with the cell phones technology.
Right.
So that would make sense why it sounded quieter, but still, everything about that shot, everything about that, what I saw doesn't add up for 30-06.
No, not a 30-06. Because now going back to the entry, the hole that was left, even a 30-06, when he gets hit, he goes back, and then his head goes back. He gets hit up. You see the angle of the shot goes up. It's weird, right?
I don't know, maybe, hold on.
Well,
because that's not the impression I got. The impression I got from the shot, from the video, I was like, I hate to do this. I'm really sorry to ask to see it. But do you have a video?
yes.
Because I saw it once, and I'm like, I don't like...
TikTok is probably easier to find, but...
Excuse me. Long story short, the motion his body made... Okay, thank you. So muscle flex. He's squat. No, you know what that body motion is? I could tell you from shooting deer. Hold on. He did this number. Watch.
Right. But now, hold on. Watch his shirt. His shirt goes up that way. when he gets
So
hit,
it's almost like it bounces off his clavicle up into his throat.
I don't even think. I don't know if it would bounce off his clavicle at 150 yards.
Well, here's the thing. So
See, this guy, here's the thing. This guy was like, the guy to blame is this guy right here, this Israeli, not Secret Service, but bodyguard. He said, this is where one of the crazy fucking, like, one of the crazy conspiracies come in. I don't even know who the guy is. Stu Peters. I've never heard of him until I was watching this video of this other guy, and then they were debunking this pretty much. He said that the bodyguard, like, triggers something, and then the clip mic is what fired off the shot into his neck, and that's why it goes up at an angle like that. But then, like, the guy that was on here, he disproved it. It was like, well, he goes, first off, for the clip mic, you could only be a 22, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, the problem is even a 22, a white loaded 22, propulsion would have knocked that clip mic right off his shirt. Like, there's the clip mic is just, if I can do that and knock a clip mic off my shirt, there's no way.
yes and no. It would have knocked the mic off, but the bullet could have still traveled forward. 'Cause
Yeah, but
it would have lost. It would have had to have been a heavy load, and you would have seen
no, they weren't
You would have
arguing
seen-
the bullet not traveling forward, but because the bullet traveled forward, that mic would not have stayed on his shirt.
No, it would have went that way, and in order to get that, because you have to think about it, when it pushes away, it's going to push back. A lot of its force and energy
Yeah.
is going to transfer to the clip. It's going to send it back, so it's going to lose a lot of forward motion as well. So in order to get that kind of an entrance and cause that much blood loss, you would have seen a flash, because that wouldn't have been a light load. That would have been a hot load.
Either way, there's no way.
No.
None of that would have happened.
No,
But
you
that's
would have
what he's
seen
saying.
the
He's
flash,
like,
too.
They were talking about the load and what it would have did, and what the actual, like, what it looked like. And the fact that that clip wouldn't have stayed on his shirt, like, if it was that. So they look at this, like, so he goes, I don't like to, like, shit on people's theories or anything, but
Where's his chest? 'Cause I got to take a shit.
He's like, this is just ridiculous. That's all this. Cause there's some things like that have been coming out. I'm like, what the fuck?
I have heard some things about his wife, Charlie Kirk's wife.
So have I. I don't know enough about something about she had like an orphanage or something, and
No,
it
just
wasn't
like
Russia. It was
just how like
Prussia. Or, I don't know.
no.
some-
What I've heard was like
Prussia.
she's all, oh, it's tragic, but I got things going on. Let's just get him buried already. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard some questions like, why is she so quick to get him laid to rest? Everything we know what killed him. Don't worry about autopsying him. I got things I got to take care of. I forgive the guy. Let's move on.
Well, that I can.
I don't know how true any of that is.
There's been a lot.
TikTok, of course.
Like a lot of the story. Yeah, I don't know either. I know her forgiving him, the shooter, like that. That's a very Christian thing to do. Like, I've seen that many times over in murders and everything else. So that didn't surprise me. And honestly, I shouldn't even say it's a Christian thing to do. That's a healthy thing to do. Because forgiveness isn't for the other person. It's for you. It just is. Like, instead of you just sitting,
I keep
harboring
trying, and no one ever seems to want to forgive me.
Shut up. I'm not forgiving you. But instead of
I get
harboring...
rid of his dead hooker, and I'm not being forgiven.
I didn't pay for it, he did.
He did a bachelor party. Ding!
That's not... Yeah, that's for you. So you're not sitting and stewing and hating and
You should sit.
all that does is just bring you down.
No, look how great I've turned out.
Regardless, I don't know enough of everything else that I've heard in regards to her. There was enough with the shooting itself where I'm like, what the fuck? And then everything else after that, I'm like...
Tragic. You know what? Regardless of what she's got going on, I don't blame... This is just my personal opinion. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of what people say she's saying, she's doing, the way she's acting, they're questioning it. You know what? Every fucking person deals with their shit differently.
It's true.
the woman's got 2 fucking kids to take care of for the rest of her life.
That's
on her own. So you know what? I say let her process however the fuck she wants to process. I won't even make a joke about double clicking her mouse. Let her process. But yeah, no.
There's like a lot of people saying too that the shooter is like, this clearly wasn't a professional hit because where the shooter was prone at the edge of the building. Like there's so many videos of him at the edge of the building. It's clear as day. You could see like this wasn't a professional job. And then after, what doesn't add up to me is like, so after he's up there, people see it before and after the shot, he or whatever takes a shot. Everyone's like, oh, there he is. There's one security camera pans, or not security, someone's camera pans over, sees a guy running. There's security footage of him going across a roof, dropping down, limping away. I guess there's text messages says he threw the weapon into the woods across the way from the actual university, telling his trans thingy to go pick it up after. He goes home scot-free somehow after all the commotion going on. He gets home, admits to people on Discord that he was the one that did it. Hey, sorry guys, but I'm the one, blah, blah, blah. His father finds out, talks to him, turns him into his pastor or whatever. I don't know what religion exactly they were in. And then through the pastor turns the kid in, Robinson, and then later Robinson turns himself in. So it's like,
you know the old saying, it's a little too good to be true.
I was like, so was he part of it? Did he have something to do with it? Was he just some crazy fucking...
I mean, obviously, him
leftist that
screaming,
was
I
just-
did it, and getting arrested, because they did arrest him on the spot.
Yeah.
It was like enough of a distraction to get put away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inconsistencies, ballistically.
I put
And-
here, it's like, after a couple weeks, I'm like, this isn't a left and right thing at all here. I think this goes beyond that. From everything that I've seen up to this point, watched, read, listened to, like, this is the fallout, the argumentative fallout immediately went, like, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative.
Yeah.
It went to that. Everything always
We
does.
joked.
And I got hung up in it. And I'm like, well, and then there's the arguments all the time of left extremism, right extremism. Well, like I said, it's only an argument. It's left versus right. Because when this first came out, another thing too is like when this first came out, right off the bat, legacy media, which is primarily left wing, just is, said, this is a MAGA guy. I'm like, how the fuck do we know that? Like, we've got nothing on this. Like, at the time, we're like, who the hell is it? I don't even know. It's like, it's right wing. Like, the first thing, it was like, well, maybe it's one of his supporters firing a gun off in celebration. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
He got fired.
But then, right after, it's like, oh, no, he's left wing. He's left wing. Well, he's a left wing that was radicalized by the right. And then he went left extremist. And then the argument, that's where, once again, left and right extremism came in. It's like, oh, it's left extreme, right extreme. And then the argument's always like, well, the right is more extreme than the left. I'm like, geez, and you look at like the charts they bring up and look how much more the right is and the left's down here. And then you look at the numbers and it's like, well, there's like 318 right-wing extremists violent acts this year and 110 or whatever left, and then unaffiliated was like 90 or 40 or something like that. And then I'm like, you look at all that, you're like, wait a minute. Let's take a half a step back and look at this. Like, we have like 450 fucking acts, whatever it is, out of 330 million fucking people in the United States. And this is what we're going to focus on. It's these small groups right here, and then we're going to relegate that
So,
to one fucking faction or another. And then what happens with that is, like we talked about in the last one, is the rhetoric. And it's like we're using this small fraction of a half or something.
Like the abortion thing. What if a girl gets raped, or what if it's a
Yeah, exactly.
You're
It's like,
talking-
what about the other 93 whatever percent?
either side of the fence? Before I go on to this tangent, I really won't actually screw that abortion tangent. I'm pro-choice. Fucking deal with it. Right or left, at the end of the day, when this happened, I felt a little bit one way or the other, but I had to stop and step back and like, you know what? Who knows? Who cares? The left is always going to portray it. They're going to show these numbers that are going to depict the right being worse than the left. The right are going to do the same thing. They're going to show these numbers that depict the left being worse than the right.
They pull the same graphs too. In extreme acts of violence, the right takes the cake. Their categorization of each group is weird because they have like 4 or 5 different categories they consider right wing. And they said, well, white supremacists are immediately right extremists. It's like, well, that doesn't necessarily make sense.
I've
Like,
met a racist Democrat. I promise you.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you could have.
I actually told him to fuck off and leave me alone.
If you were talking about, you have we'll call them commercial racists or white supremacists. The ones that are like, well, I'm a white supremacist, so everyone says the Republicans are white supremacists, so I'm going to vote for them. And then you get the actual white supremacists and be like, how come they have black people in different positions of power within the Republican Party, senators, and the Supreme Court, and congressmen and women? It's like, I don't think they're going to be voting for them. So that is, plus the fact that's an ideology. It's not really a political affiliation. So just throwing that in there, it's like...
What I was trying to get at is left is going to sit there and portray the numbers to look like the right is worse. Right is going to do the same thing. When you get down to the actual nitty-gritty of it, you can't try... There's no neutral studies.
No. Well, you can find them if you piece them together yourself. You
But
very
then,
much can.
But then whenever you have that argument with somebody, they're going to throw it at, well, you're just doing this subjectively.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Or maybe that's the wrong word.
No, yeah, you're right.
Okay, you're doing this subjectively. You know, you're putting these pieces together to fit the narrative that both sides are bad. But if you actually look at these statistics, which are the real statistics, the right is bad, or the left is bad, or the right is right, or the left is right. That's when you put that puzzle together yourself and it makes sense to you. No matter how you do it, no matter whether you're trying to be neutral 100% or not, people are always going to say, oh, well, it's subjective. Like the one black chick that was like the whole Democrat shit. She's sitting there, statistics lie. Your argument's already false. I can prove you wrong. The stats are all wrong. I know the truth. Okay.
All your stats came from Blue Sky. Which that is becoming a bigger cesspool than Reddit, if you can fucking believe that.
What's Blue Sky?
Blue Sky is basically the Democrat
Version of Reddit?
X.
Oh, I want to see this.
If you can, you make an account and then pull shit from it and bring it to the show.
Why should you do it?
Dude, if you see how many fucking apps I have on for this fucking show,
Well, what's one more?
my phone will fucking die.
All right, let's look. What's it? Blue Sky
Yeah.
Porn.
That's a weird way to spell it.
Blue Sky. There it is.
Then, yeah, there's the video angles, bullet casings, the autopsy, too. There was like an immediate autopsy.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! It is definitely fucking X. Except
Yeah.
it's
But if you look through it, I mean, they're making like calls for death against the recruiting for fucking calls to death against conservatives.
I'm installing it right now.
It's fucking wonky, man. It's like, what the?
See, people get mad. Well, if you have a wife, if you're a husband and you have a wife, and she's like, "Yeah, you probably watch porn." No, we don't. We look up weird shit to see how fucking people crazy are. How fucking crazy people are.
Yeah.
Take
both,
your
both one. Both
create
of them.
an account. Oh, I don't want to create.
You can do it. Use Google. Body armor. Yeah, the body. Oh, that too. So there's the body armor argument. which I think he was wearing a level 3 body armor. Which, again, that's not going to stop a 30-06, like, at all. But if you watch that one video, actually, there's this one. The multiple angles of it. There was a good video I found. There's a guy on TikTok, actually, that broke it down. And there's a fucking problem with this, though. He broke the front-facing camera down so you could see almost why the shirt went up. You can see when whatever bullet hit, grazed off the top of his armor, and then went up into his neck. That was another one. When the bullet hits his neck, there was another one talking about a 30-06 round, because when they said it hit the vertebrae and bounced in his neck, the problem is even if the bullet broke apart, the vertebrae it's a fragile bone. It's not fully solid. Your spinal cord runs down through it. There's no way that thing hit his neck and then just stayed in there and nothing happened to his neck. That's why they said, well, he's like Superman. He's got dense bones. Dense bones. So then there's a video. Actually, I have it. There's a video of...
That is wild. It's still barely slowed down, I feel like. It's crazy how much it diverted that steel core up. Yeah. That wound cavity is coming out of the back.
It demonstrates again just how much bigger exit wounds are than entrance wounds.
I'm sorry. A vertebrae is not going to stop that. It's just not. So this guy was actually, he shot quarter inch steel, I think he said. Oh, you're still making your account?
Apparently I had to pledge my allegiance. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so...
I gave my firstborn, so I said
Motorhead?
yes.
No, it's not Motorhead, no. See, it's at bradmunchin.bsky.social. He's talking about... CEOs who cast aspersions at short sellers are both financially illiterate and have something to hide, especially those who manipulate their stock via the options market. When everyone, including the simps like Omar Quasi, dumps money into Tesla indiscriminately, the shorts will be the only buyers. And it shows a Tesla stock going up. So I'm going to look up Charlie Kirk.
Oh, God.
Charlie Kirk.
I think at the beginning of the show, I'm going to put, I have a debate, either beginning or end. I have a debate that Charlie Kirk actually had with an anti-gay extremist and shut him down. So I'm like, well, this should take care of that rhetoric that he was anti-LGBTQ. It's like, he just shut this guy down. That's another thing too. So, all right, so we've had like 3 fucking different things that have happened the last 2.5 weeks. We had Charlie Kirk, and then we had when Jimmy Kimmel made whatever comment he had on his show, and then got suspended off it for a week, and then someone went and shot at was it ABC's headquarters, one of their headquarters.
Yeah.
There was that. And then after that, a few days ago, there was someone that shot at the ice facility.
Oh, yeah.
And was it Denver, I think it was?
I heard about that one.
And hit one of the aliens that they were transporting and injured 2 of the people that worked there.
The left would say, oh, they were trying to kill criminal migrants or asylum seekers. The right will be like, oh, they were trying to kill federal agents while transporting a criminal migrant.
Well, that's what it was. But the thing is, that was more, I don't know if it's copycat, but it definitely took inspiration from the Charlie Kirk happening.
What happened? Oh, those are the bars.
But, they took inspiration from the Charlie Kirk happening because the same day,
The same happy day, okay.
yeah, the same. What's a bundle of sticks? Anyway,
I could definitely go for a cigarette.
they
You know, I haven't had a good fag in a long time. I actually haven't smoked a Marlboro fag or a Sonoma fag or a Newport fag. Those used to be my favorite. I'm canceled.
Anyway. So
Really? The Newports being my favorite? Nothing?
no, I don't care. But the bullet casings. Evidently, there were etching on the bullet casings for the ice facility too. Here's the thing: they came right out and showed everybody.
Ice facility, casings, engravings.
Yes. What the fuck's wrong with you today? There's something wrong with him. So, yeah, they came right out and showed everybody. All right. We still haven't seen the engravings on the bullet casings, evidently, for Charlie Kirk. Nothing's been come out. Right into the autopsy, like you said before. Evidently, right after this happened, they cleaned out and started doing, like, masonry work where he was sitting initially.
Where Charlie was sitting? Or
Yeah.
sitting? Okay.
No, Charlie was sitting. Which I was like, that's odd. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing too. The exit wound report. The initial report was there was an exit wound, and then after that they retracted it and said there wasn't an exit wound and it was lodged in his neck. Like, okay, so we're going to change that story too. And then the back of his shirt poof story too.
What?
Yeah.
The back of his shirt poof?
You know when we watched the front when he got hit?
Yeah.
And the front, they said, well, the front like poofed up. And with the initial report, it said the back of his shirt poofed out, which proved he had an exit wound. I'm like, all right. But then you watch the front, and it's like, well, so does the front. So, like, did it go in and just go...
I don't want to be with you. The bullet decided to go back out the entrance, and another one created an exit.
Yeah. So, there's a whole bunch of different... And then plus, actually, perfect. Up here, you can't see the tent's in the way, but in those windows over there, but lower down, someone pulled up a video and be like, there's kind of a flash up there right as that happens. So then this theory came in, and they pulled up video that would show right next to Charlie Kirk. As he's sitting there, they frame by frame, you could see it's like frame, something, frame, hole. They're like, fuck. So here's another one. A lot of these happen. A lot of these theories come out, and you're like, I don't know, man. Like the 30-06 doesn't make sense. The shooter over here, like who the fuck, who is it? Would it be a subsonic round, possibly, if that was the case? What I think is...
Hold on. Another thing I want to point out right now.
What?
Keep it going. Watch his body.
See, that's a question being asked.
Hold on. I have watched. Okay, last hunting season, I took down a 6-point buck. The shot was over 450 yards.
Right.
Sad but true, with the 30-06, shot him in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
It was right there, right to the side. I saw the entrance. I saw the exit when I got close.
Right.
This is a full load, regular hunting round at 400. I think it was 463 yards to be exact. I was aiming for the neck because I was leading the target a little too much, but I was overcompensating for the wind.
It's turning into a hunting story.
And I watched this fucker and hit the ground and then try to get up and run and then drop.
Okay.
You're talking about why do some people not like venison?
Gamey.
Why is it so gamey? Little to no fat content, very muscular.
Right.
You're telling me that a deer at 463 yards gets put on its ass with a shot to the neck at 463 yards, hits the ground,
Right.
but a man who's in a relaxed position of comfort just and slouches over? A 30-06 should have put him on his back.
At 150 yards.
150 yards.
There again.
And the exit should have been a poof. You should have seen all those videos.
That's what I mean. The two I just showed here, I'm like, that doesn't...
I'll use your quote exactly. Energy transference.
Yeah, that's what I mean by...
So everything I told you was 100% right and everything you thought was completely right.
But that's what I mean by inertia. And then that energy's got to go somewhere.
Right.
Can't. But that's where it's...
Now I'm busting balls.
But yeah, that's where it comes from. This is... Yeah.
That's where babies come from?
That's where they come from.
I thought a woman pooped them out. Saw a joke.
So then my
Girl
question...
asked her mom, do babies come from where the man puts his wiener? She goes, yeah. She goes, won't it break my teeth coming out? So my question then was like, well, who did it then? Because there's so many like, was this motivated by the left? Because Charlie Kirk, Democrats, the initial reaction when all this happened. Speaking of deer.
The initial reaction when all this happened was Democrats are very much, there was a lot of crazies out there that were celebrating it. And now you go down the list a little bit and you get to like your Jimmy Kimmels and your whoever.
Got his job back.
Yeah, because it was only suspension. Like I knew that was going to happen, but
Cried on TV.
you know what? Like as a semi-side note, what was funny about the whole thing was like when he got suspended and everyone from the left wanted to boycott Disney. I'm like, well, you're about a year behind, but welcome aboard.
Don't worry, we already got the engine warmed up thanks to Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
But sure, jump on the bandwagon.
Actually, no, it's longer than that. I think it was like 3 years ago. That
Dang
was
streamers. I bet you guys started laying on ICP when the Great Malenko came out too.
Gino Carano. That's when
Gina Serrano.
No, Carano.
Yeah, whatever. But they settled, and they look forward to working with her in the future.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to. Maybe she. I don't know, but
I want to see Cara Dune come back.
I still haven't seen season 3. But anyway, so the left clearly didn't like him, and they kept with the rhetoric of like
Extremist, fascist, racist, Nazi.
This.
Oh yeah.
It's like, well, he says hate speech, and like. So
Speech
and they
you
double,
hate
and then
doesn't make it hate speech.
when he came back, he doubled down on it. Like he didn't. There was no apology or anything. He's like, I didn't. He did say, he's like, I didn't intend on saying one way or the other.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah, you did. But you're smarter than Whoopi, so you realized you had to make it sound genuine that you're feeling bad for hurting people's feelings.
Right. So, yeah. So.
Ziggy zaggy, oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, those days are long, long behind him. So, he'd gotten like, a lot of people say, well, the left can't win the presidential election without the youth vote. Like that's heavily in the Democrats' favor. And then Charlie Kirk went through and got like roughly 2.5 million voters that were youth to vote in the opposite direction. So clearly that's going to hurt him. So is that a reason? Maybe. and Charlie Kirk probably was presidential material in the future. Like,
I would have voted for the guy. I can't agree with everything he said,
I can't agree with everything everybody says.
but
like, it's just,
I do support his ideals.
yeah, I
or
thought
what
I
he
thought
stood
was
for.
well spoken.
A lot of his ideals.
He was one of my favorites. So
Yeah.
there was
Question. Sorry to interrupt really quick. Is mommy mad? Do I have to be scared?
just don't worry about her.
I don't want mommy to tuck me in tonight. I want you, daddy. Candace Owens has she come out? Like, is she doing anything? Like, has she said anything?
Oh, she said a lot.
I haven't heard shit. My algorithm must be off then.
No, she has said a lot.
Like what?
She's directly pinning it. Her and a few others are directly pinning it in Israel. Because the whole, Charlie Kirk had recently spoke out against Israel. Apparently there was a meeting 2 or 3 days before this whole incident that Charlie Kirk was...
Can you pause that? It just keeps showing it over and over. It's not that I'm opposed to video playing in the background, but like I said before, I watched the Charlie Kirk video when it first happened.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to see this again.
So you sat here watching for the last 10 minutes?
Yeah, I actually fucking almost all of this episode.
Oh. But, yeah, actually, when I turned this on, I'm because I wanted to look at this video and get, an idea. It's I need timing. I need to know when. So I was I saw it once. Rich actually sent it to me. I'm like, happy
birthday, motherfucker. 42.
Yeah, what an old piece of shit.
Fucking looks better than us. Dude looks like he's in his 20s still. We definitely look like we're in our 40s. The fucker still looks like he's pedophile. If I touched him, if he shaved completely clean, I felt like if I touched him sexually, I could go to jail for being a pedophile. He looks young. Don't tell me he don't look like... Fucking Rich does look young. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not going to tell you you're right or wrong at all.
Because you know I'm right.
This whole episode.
Because you know I'm right, you fucking Rich. I don't know what you did to look so fucking young all the time.
So
You must be drinking that adrenochrome.
So was it the left? I don't remember what my train of thought was before.
Candace Owens, Israel.
Oh yeah. So her.
Talking a couple days before meeting.
Ian Carroll, he's another one that's been this is Israel. The day after it happened, he was like, this is Israel. I'm like, we don't know yet. Hold on. There's a lot of things that'd be all right, well, Israel is it in the realm of possibilities that Israel had something to do with it? Sure.
Is it in the realm of possibility that any assassination on any foreign land or our own hasn't been internationally motivated?
Sure. But I think that's premature to just jump on that train. So I don't know. But then,
well, perfect example. Look at JFK. He had a lot on his mind after it happened.
The left has had a whole bunch of conspiracy theories in regard to this.
Sorry, that's not funny. Kennedy family.
One Charlie Kirk staged the whole thing, the whole Trump thing.
What?
Oh yeah, that was immediately after it happened.
Staged the whole Trump thing?
No. Charlie Kirk staged this whole assassination thing, and he's still alive. Oh. Which goes back with the questions do you think he's dead? It's yeah, well, of course. So that was one conspiracy theory that was out. Another one was, well, he's not big enough to be a martyr. And then after he was assassinated, everything else that happened, the vigils and all the marches and everything that happened, all over the world.
I searched Charlie Kirk on Blue Sky and I was scrolling through. I just whipped and then stopped. First one. One of the things I read was the government's talk about minting coins. It's this is not. Why are we idolizing him or patriotic or whatever? So this is hell no. I'm not for this.
Yeah. And I was well, because of everything that just happened, he's gonna end up, whether you agree with it or not, he will end up on the same pedestal as those of JFK Jr.
Yeah.
And Martin Luther King Jr.
Malcolm X.
JFK Jr. JFK and Martin Luther King Jr.
Malcolm X wasn't assassinated.
That's just what happened.
No, was Malcolm X assassinated?
I don't know enough about Malcolm X.
Was Malcolm... Wawa Malcolm... Okay, that's weird.
Wawa?
Was Malcolm
the grocery store?
X... assassinated.
And then during his
Malcolm X was assassinated on February 21st, 1965.
During his service, his funeral, there were so many people that compared it to a Nazi rally or a Hitler rally in Nazi Germany in the late 30s. I'm like, what?
I saw. Oh my God!
What are we talking about?
Hold on,
like, are we living in the same fucking reality?
I got a TikTok for you. Nope, not what I
So,
wanted.
of course, in 1934, Nazi Hitler comparison. And then there was also one where he was murdered by a Groyper, which is like some of the follows. Oh, shit, what's his name? Nick Fuentes, there we go. That's his name. So it was a white nationalist that did it. Because he wasn't white supremacist enough. I'm like, okay, of course. And then another one, which ties into the second one I just said, where he's the comparison to Hitler was Trump did it. Trump is the actual one that organized the assassination against him. Which I'm like, what the fuck? And that that tied into my second one, which him not being big enough to be a martyr, and the Nazi 1934 Hitler and Nazi comparison. Being that Trump did that to have more support behind Trump because the staging of the left looking like they knocked off Charlie Kirk, giving Trump more power, so to speak, which is similar thing happened in 1934 in Germany.
See if I can find it quick. Did a lot of TikToking.
I know the left is constantly saying, so like, well, they have to turn the temperature down. The right has to turn the temperature down. It's like, everyone I listen to, everyone I pay attention to, they all do that. They all are like, we don't need this. Like, what are we doing here? We don't need this. It's like they want to hear what they want to hear, and everything is just bad. Like, as soon as you say, hey, how's it going? They hear, oh, I'm a racist. I'm like, oh my God, they are.
Saw a good TikTok either earlier today or yesterday, and it was crazy. It talks about 3 different people, and it lists off the characteristics of each person without giving their name, right? Mm-hmm. And if I can find it, it's fucking... There we go.
First one. If you knew a lady who was pregnant who had 8 kids already, 3 who were deaf, 2 who were blind, 1 who was mentally handicapped, and she had syphilis, would you recommend she have an abortion? Before you answer, listen to the next question. Second question. It's time to elect a new world leader, and only your vote counts. Here are the facts about the 3 candidates. Candidate A associates with crooked politicians and consults with his astrologist. He's had 2 mistresses. He also chain smokes and drinks 8 to 10 martinis a day. Candidate B was kicked out of office twice, used opium in college, sleeps until noon, and drinks a quart of whiskey every night. Candidate C, he's a decorated war hero, doesn't smoke, is a vegetarian, drinks an occasional beer, and has never cheated on his wife. Which of these candidates would be your choice? A,
Now, who would you choose?
Probably C.
B, or C? Candidate A is Franklin D. Roosevelt. Candidate B is Winston Churchill, and candidate C is Adolf Hitler. Oh, and by the way, on the answer to the abortion question, if you said yes, you just killed Beethoven. It's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so it gives you like the characteristics of these, the traits of these 3 people. They don't tell you the name, and they say, which would you choose?
They did the same. Who the hell was it? Did the same thing in comparison sports figures to politicians.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
They read up all the fucking laundry list of charges and everything.
Like who is it? Has a record of 357 people with assault charges, racketeering charges, DUIs.
Do you think this is the NBA, the NFL, the MLB? No,
Congress.
It's like you'd all be wrong. It's Congress. It's like yeah, there you go.
Oh my God! Oh, whoop, a little floppy there.
Flippity floppity. But yeah, so then the question is, all right, if it's not the left, is it Israel? Like, Israel's had a whole bunch. Like I said, the 50 states one Israel thing, the possibility of revoking, I guess, passports. If somebody has come into the country now, allegedly the president has passed something. They can revoke passports if you ridicule Israel in the United States. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, what the hell's that about?
Social
Apparently they
credit
bought
score.
some kind of rights to Google and YouTube. Israel did.
Great.
I'm like, what the fuck? So that all came out after the fact of all this happened. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm at the same point as I was the day after, like, his assassination. It's like, there's so much shit out there. It's like, I don't know shit. All I do know is that it doesn't seem like it's a 306 or a 30-06.
30-06, yeah, sorry.
He might have had body armor on. It's definitely not a fucking microphone clip gun. It's definitely not a pen gun, which is a real thing. But that other guy either triggered or shot that was off in front of him, or like, what, to his left in the audience. And there's nothing that's come out about this Tyler Robinson. Like, there's no casings, bullet casings. We got bullet casings from the ice shooter.
Information.
Like, yeah, we have stuff. We have something that looks like a ChatGPT text letter to his trans girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever the hell it was right after. It's like, this seems a little weird.
His trans partner.
Yeah, so we have some kind of message to him, going back and forth. No bullet casings. So there's there's inscriptions on it. It's like, all right, we didn't see him. We immediately saw the Denver ice shooter, the bullet casings. There was inscriptions, and they showed that right off the bat. The autopsy was pushed through. Allegedly, there was some masonry work done on the scene of the crime, like a day or two later. And another thing that a lot of people have pointed out is the response by some of the security guards. After the shooting, if you watch the response, Charlie Kirk gets hit, they bring him down, and you see one of the security guards slide across the front table where he was sitting at, and they go down to him. The security guard that the one guy said, oh, that's a detonator for the fucking whatever, the magic gun thing. He goes over. The other guy from Charlie's right walks behind. He gets handed something, puts it in his pocket, and then walks off. Now, if you pull away and you watch like a wide shot of the whole scene, as they're working on Charlie, there's another guy that pulls a chair over and goes up into the CCTV surveillance camera and takes, I'm assuming, a memory card or something out of it and pockets it right as soon as it happens.
Do you have this video? I would love to see this. I didn't even know about that.
You get to watch it again.
Something wafted in from the outside. You might have a critter outside.
This is a crazy guy. This is after the fact. I'll show it here. There's a camera over here. That's a blimp. Let me see if I can go to TikTok, where they haven't exactly censored everything yet.
Did he have a pet dinosaur?
Jeez Louise. Alright.
What are we seeing here? Go ahead, you're gonna watch. I want you to pay attention right there. He pauses it. You see it pause, and you almost see like a cloud of smoke. There is some type of explosion. There is something happening.
What's it? Oh, God damn it. As soon as I go to press that, and PlayStation comes up, takes me to... Damn it!
I'm watching it.
One of my friends told me.
Good, because this is what I mean.
The guy jumps over the table.
I don't need more shit in my phone.
Grabs something, puts it in his pocket.
That's the one.
Put your penis in me.
I said this stupid fucking Jet 2 holiday thing. Alright, it's a stupid fucking Jet 2 holiday bullshit. Like, the fuck?
Oh, right there.
Yeah, that's a guy going up. Like, they're like, they're pretty calm, and everyone else is just fucking running around like crazy. See, that's the guy talking about, oh, your remote detonator for that fucking stupid gun. It's like, no, I don't think it was that, but what did he give him? Yeah, and then the guy just takes off. Maybe it was keys. Maybe it was keys.
Go start the car.
Maybe. I mean, maybe it was just something as easy to explain as that, but... Like, I don't know.
I'm kind of wondering.
Like that, I don't know. I could say maybe it's keys, but the other one, the camera, because if you watch the video, he looks around first, goes up, pulls something out, and then just... I'm like, what was that? I mean, maybe it was for evidence. I don't know. I mean, they obviously have protocol to follow in case something like this happens. All security detail does.
Pause that.
Hard to say. I don't know.
I'm wondering, can you actually rewind just a little bit? I want to see, because you are trained the way I was trained. So hold on. So rewind a little bit more. Unfortunately, back to the shot. A little bit farther. A little bit farther. All right. This should show it. Excuse me. Whatever, loser. Red shirted ass. When they... I want to see when they push him down. Because I'm trying to... Okay, go back a little bit further. A little bit further. Okay. This should show the shot, the takedown. Okay.
Asking about trans violence, and he said excluding or including gang violence.
Stay on track. God damn it, fucking kill
It's hard to.
Sorry, let it play. Alex. Shut up, Alex.
Oh, it's making fun of you now. He's back on YouTube.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. He's back on YouTube. I was like, oh, that's good.
All right, well, the thing I was going to try to bring up was, I think it's awfully peculiar. Here we go. Come on. God damn it.
Come on, Stu Peters.
Although...
See, that's where they say the bullet may have come down and hit the top of his...
clavicle.
No, his
collarbone.
Armor,
Oh.
if he's wearing it, and then ricocheted off the top piece of the armor, and then through. I'm like, maybe. If that was the case, that might slow it down enough.
Touche. So the point I was going to try to get at was... In what you've seen... Does it appear to you, what's the number one rule about medical treatment when somebody gets an inflicted wound and there's blood?
To stop the bleeding.
Correct.
Right.
At what point
Stick
do
a thumb in it.
you see the takedown and there's only like 2 or 3 people around him and only one person is down there by the looks of it? So, and they're on his side, like he's on his backside. You don't see like him transition over.
I don't know. I don't really see him at all.
it looks like the first thing that should have been done as soon as he was put down was cover and apply pressure. You should have two people to do that. Somebody applying pressure, somebody being able to cover his body at that point. The math isn't mathing with the amount of people that were on him when he went down to try to prevent him from dying.
I don't know exactly how many people are on it, though. That's a problem, too.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I know, but like I said, there's so many questions yet in this whole thing. Like, I just feel like the more I look at things, the more I go
confused.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah, you're not gonna see it from here. The fucking guy moves his camera and shit. In a time and a place when everybody's about, oh, record this shit, bro, record this shit.
Yeah, nobody records.
I'm gonna record this shit. Oh, that's boring.
Everyone stops.
Fucking people. Y'all fucking generation want to sit there and record all the bad shit that goes on. But as soon as the bad shit goes on, oh, I'm done recording.
I'm sure there's more video out there. Somebody did. The one guy that jumped in front of the camera and celebrated immediately when it happened. You see that one? No?
Oh my God.
Some guy, like, somewhere down in here, as soon as it happens, there's like a, I don't know if it's a hard cam over here or something like that, but he he turns around and goes like this. And they're like, this is what I mean. This, oh, God. The world we're living in is fucking like, That's why I escape to Helldivers all the time. I was like, well, at least this is managed democracy.
Yeah.
Because this is real democracy.
Yeah.
So like I said, there was a whole initial response. And of course, still, it's the left versus the right. And this is where I've gotten to the point where I'm like, this is beyond that. And I don't know.
One genuinely good thing I can pull from this is there is people on the left that were like, this is not.
Yeah, and I said that in the
and
last
the right.
episode.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
They were like that. No, this isn't.
Enough's enough.
But the problem is what that's gonna do is everybody that is gone fucking batshit are gonna look at them and be like, well, now you're fascist too, and that's just gonna strengthen their echo chamber to where they're basically going to isolate themselves socially to a point where that will breed a new, like, I don't want to use the term extremist movement because it's so cliche at this point. It's like when the left calls the right racist. Like, there we fucking go.
Well, it doesn't matter left or right. When something like this happens, whether it's a left-orientated thing, or a left agenda or a right agenda, that's basically what it's categorized into. It's an extreme movement.
It is an extreme movement, but like this specifically, and what's happening, because like I said before, what they're doing now is calling any kind of violence against conservatives, which, by Occam's razor, would suggest it's a left movement, because the left, they eat themselves, but unintentionally, right? They make all these movements that have nothing to do with each other, encompass the whole thing, and then be like, wait a minute, we have LGBTQ and pro-Palestine in one area. I'm like, this doesn't seem to work. So they eat themselves. Not intentionally, though.
Yeah.
What they're doing is being like, these guys got to go. And now they've gotten to the point where they're calling for fucking, not only violence, but death. And somehow it just kind of gets left alone. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like if I did that against whoever I didn't like channel would be shut down and probably have charges pressed against me. And yet, it's okay when it comes from one aisle over there. It's weird how it works out.
Double standard.
The world's not fair, and sometimes it just wants to step on your balls with high heels. It's mayhem.
But at this point in the game, we should be used to getting fucked by life.
It ain't life. Life is good. It's just there's some things in it that I'm like,
okay, well, what's the fucking safe word? Because I'd sure love to say it. Maybe get a break.
Oh, the safe word is bye.